Washington, 2026. We'll call the meeting to order, beginning with a roll call. Christie,
Mayor Strick,
present.
Daniel Albertson,
Present.
Megan Bonbrake,
Present.
Ian Lindsay,
Present.
Anthony Lesnikia.
Present.
Thank you. And having established a quorum for the conducting of city business, we'll move along to consideration of minutes from the previous meeting of June 1st, 2026. Is there a motion to bring those minutes to the floor for consideration and adoption as submitted?
So, second.
We have a motion and second regarding the June 1st meeting minutes. Any further comment or question from the board members? Seeing or hearing me at this time, we'll call a question in favor of adoption of the June 1st minutes as submitted. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The June 1st minutes are adopted. We also have consideration for the June 15th executive session minutes. So a motion to bring those to the floor for consideration and adoption as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the executive session minutes for June 15th. Seeing or hearing me at this time, we'll call the question in favor of adoption as submitted. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries and June 15th minutes are adopted. Not aware of any old business before the board today. We'll move along to new business. First item on the agenda is regarding special event request for the Harmony Home Halloween in July. Is there a motion to bring that to this board for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, and we do have representatives from Harmony House here with us today. So would mind stating your name and address for the record and tell us a little bit about Halloween in July.
All right, I'm Robert Norm, the Executive Director of Harmony Home and 751 East Tipton Street. And we're trying something different this year. So my sister's been trying to talk me into Halloween in July for years. So we're gonna give it a shot. So we're looking at July 25th. It's a Saturday. We're gonna start at 7 p.m. We would like to block the street off of Guilford from Washington to Market Street, which is what we do every year. We just do it during Halloween. We will have the gathering place across the street where we'll have the cookout. And instead of pumpkin painting, we're going to have rock painting, and we're going to have a dunk tank. And then we'll have the main event in the basement of the church where we'll have like a scary walkthrough, and then we'll have a 50-50 and some other things. So basically we block up the street because we have kids going back and forth doing the trick or treating thing. So we don't want to have to worry about anybody getting hurt. Plus we do a hayride that we load up there in front of Trinity United Methodist. So that's why we'd like to block that off so there's no danger to anybody.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Questions or comments by board members?
Where does the route of the hayride take again?
It goes out on Market Street, you turn left, and it goes up to across from Candy's Bar, there where it goes in Yeoman's Park. And it goes all the way through to the skate park and turns around and then comes back through.
Okay.
Further questions or comments? Okay, not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question for approval. Special event request for Halloween in July. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Next item on the agenda is Jeffress special event application. Ratification. Activation of floor. Is there a motion to bring the floor for consideration and discussion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. For the board members' awareness and benefit, so the event itself was authorized as part of Heritage Days, but the organizers realized just before the event that they had not yet contacted the board about activation of the DORA. So they reached out to me at the end of last week, and in concurrence with Indiana statute and law, Mr. Harper and I determined the proper process was for us to receive the application, for me to unilaterally approve it, because the assumption that the board would have, since the board did it last year, and then bring it to the board today for ratification or rejection. So with that, any questions or comments that you have?
So this is already passed.
Yep, this is the event that happened yesterday. This is the procedure under Indiana law, which is it's something that's unilaterally, I can act unilaterally if it's in accordance with the authority. for review and ratification. So. Question or discussion on that? Okay, not hearing you, we'll call the question in favor of ratification of the Jeff Fest special event application and door activations. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a new police department hire and recommendation from Chief Foxell, who's here with us. Is there a motion to bring that to the board for consideration?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Chief?
Good afternoon. As I mentioned earlier, the Huntington Police Department has 3 current openings. And I hope to be bringing additional officer candidates to you in the near future, but at this time, it is my recommendation that you approve the hire of Brent Krieger as the next officer at Huntington Police Department.
Questions or comments by board members? Seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of the recommendation to make the offer of Mr. Krieger. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Next item on the agenda is Nest Property Utility Service and Non-Remonstrance Agreement. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for discussion and consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, Director Kemp.
Yes, Mr. Ness approached the city about the land he owns there on the east side of Broadway between Broadway and, on Riverside between Broad.
For the benefit of recording, can you step out of the microphone? Or you didn't really want to do this. Thank you.
So Mr. Ness approached the city about the property he has on the north side of Riverside between Riverside and the river east of Broadway as you head out to the POW. It is outside the city's limits. The properties on the south side of the road have long been connected to city utilities of various water and sewer capacities for them, depending on the properties. The property on the north side is unique. It's got floodplain considerations. It has overhead power line easements, a couple of other things that make it maybe not the most potentially suitable for development, but obviously where there's a will, there's a way, as we know. Long story short, Mr. Ness wanted to allow access to that property if he was able to sell it off. There's 2 parcels there now. For that property potentially connect to water and sewer. Again, due to the proximity of floodplain and things like that, you'd have to put a septic system on it, those sort of things. So in consultation with engineering and talking with the mayor's office, we determined that it would be the most prudent for the city to extend the offer to connect to city utilities, provided that the owner signed a waiver of non-remonstrance, meaning that if development did happen in the future and the city found it advantageous in the term of the next 15 years to annex those properties or one way or another, that we would have the right to do that in exchange for them being afforded utility connection. So that is the agreement before you. Mr. Hartberg drafted that up. The Nesses had already signed that agreement. And again, this will get recorded, so it's binding on the real estate. All future buyers will know. It'll allow them to then proceed with auction or sale or whatever the case may be, with the explicit understanding that future owners have the ability to tie in, or if they so choose, and also that the city may at any point in time exert its right to annex that property if it so deems in its best interest.
Questions for Director Keplinger?
What was the 15 years thing?
15 years is the maximum that a waiver of non-remonstrance recorded under state law could be in effect for. So that's the term of the agreement. So if they fail to connect to city utilities in 15 years and we fail to annex them in 15 years, everything goes away like nothing ever happened. But if one of those others happen, then obviously the agreement is sort of utilized, because obviously once they connect, they're not going to be unconnected. But the city has 15 years to decide if we would seek to annex them. They have 15 years to decide if they would like to connect to utilities.
And they're doing this in case they want to develop it.
It's my understanding that they wish to sell the property and to maximize the potential value for that property, making it available to city utilities so they can be developed, because they would need to do that because of the floodplain and the inability to install a septic system directly adjacent to the river, which is not a good idea.
Yeah.
And the city already has water and sewer on Riverside, runs all the way out to the POW. People on the other side of the street are already connected. So
Have you done this before?
the city has historically executed waivers of non-remonstrance in certain instances where it made the most sense. And so it is.
Is there one in recent history that you know?
I would say the 500 North Hospital area was probably one, but I mean, that's
Yeah, yeah.
20+ years
Sure.
ago.
Okay.
The city's been pretty forward thinking with annexation in the last 15, 20 years, as opposed to the 15 and 20 years before that, I would say.
Now,
It's a tool in our tool belt.
Yeah.
Sorry.
after this 15-year term's up, is this something they could come back after that 15-year term and do again if they choose? or is
Certainly,
that- okay.
certainly. Yep, we could always execute another agreement once this one were to go away if they didn't, make good on this one or take advantage of it.
Being a floodplain, I'm assuming potential buyers would know that that was a floodplain, even though they may have these utilities available.
I would like to think that the real estate agents would represent that as being what it is. Typically speaking, the property will remain in the county, so remain outside of our jurisdiction unless there was annexation that would occur. I would assume that anybody who's buying it to build and develop would do their homework. Certainly if they're getting a federally backed mortgage, which would be anything, and from a FDIC insured financial institution, then they're gonna do that. Only a portion of it, less than what you would think would be in the floodplain.
Okay.
Further question or comment by board members?
So before you today is that agreement, and so all you would need is if you are in a favor, to approve that agreement and authorize the mayor to sign on the city's behalf.
Okay, not hearing further question or comment, then we will call the question in favor of authorization of the agreement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
I,
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving along on the agenda, next item is regarding a street sweeper agreement amendment. Motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and authorization.
So moved.
second,
Motion and second. Street Superintendent Tim Bischoff here with us to present the agreement and the background on it.
Good afternoon. Just a short year ago, we renewed our annual or our 4-year agreement with NDOT to sweep the state routes through the city. The mayor signed that. You all had approved it and we were moving forward. And NDOT actually sent us a letter that they want to increase the amount they're paying us per mile. So in 2025, they paid us $360 per mile. This year, it's going to go up to $450. So this is just an amendment to our current 4-year agreement that the fee schedule will increase with the payment from NDOT. Just asking for your approval to let the mayor sign this agreement.
Question or discussion by board members?
Just tied to any increase in sweeping or anything like that?
No, they just require us to sweep twice a year.
You can't just go sweep whenever you want.
No, no.
So how many,
This is a flat amount, whether we sweep it 2 times or 10 times.
and how many miles total are there, do you know?
It's on your someplace. 7.2.
Not doing 24 probably.
Yeah, it's just basically 2.4 State Road 5.
224.
Yeah.
City.
Yes, Jefferson Street.
Did you say it's up to 450?
Yes.
Thank you.
This is just a mutually beneficial contract arrangement between the local unit and NDOT. Because for us, we want to see it properly maintained and swept so that it doesn't interfere with our stormwater drainage. One of the major thoroughfares through town, and NDOT has a lot of territory to cover. So. Any further comment or question? Okay, not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorization of the agreement as amended. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
I,
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next item on the agenda, we do have a financial software contract agreement from BSNA. So you have a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and approval pending legal review negotiation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second.
Sure. The clerk's office and the city, along with the mayor, we were looking for software companies because ours is going out. They needed an upgrade to be on the web-based system instead of a server system. And in looking at other companies and trying to get everyone on the system, we decided we're still going to research, but the financials would like to go on BSNA, which is the company that bought out Keystone that we're currently on, Keystone Voice. So yes, so in negotiating and figuring out what we were going to do, they just got the amended contract to me right before the meeting. So Mike's going to review that. But it's just including the current software that we have, the current modules, I guess you should say, with payroll, fund and assets. And so I'm asking for your approval pending that the contract is in good order. And then we'll get that signed by the end of the month in order to receive a discount of 73,000 to migrate to them, because they already have our information, because we're already currently with their system. So then when they migrate that, we're saving that initial cost. And then this will not go into effect until next year. It takes about 12 months for them because they have a whole bunch of cities and towns that are going on in the system. So they're about 12 months out working on that. And in the meantime, we're looking at other modules that they offer and seeing in comparison to what the rest of the city is finding to see if we can be more integrated with one system to make it easier and more efficient, basically is the main idea.
Thank you. Questions or comments by board members?
Is this something that's required? That we have this system by the state or something to know?
We have to have a system and we have to be in compliance with state board of accounts controls.
Right.
But this has always meant that.
Yes.
Yeah, the state does not refer us to a particular.
Yeah, right. Okay. And how long have we been using this software?
We've been using our current software for over 25 years.
Yeah.
I think previous, I think Jay Lar is the one that went on to Keystone. And I've been here 20 years. And so we've been using it prior to that. And then PM Updike was before me. So yeah. And so they're just upgrading because they were bought out by another company.
Right.
And so they're integrating Indiana with this other company to maintain and to upgrade all of the systems if people so choose to stay with them.
Great, thank you.
Other question or discussion by board members? Yeah, not seeing or hearing any at this time, call the question in favor of authorization and agreement, pending legal review and any subsequent changes back and forth with BSNA. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carries. Moving on to ordinance enforcement. First item on the agenda under enforcement is regarding a public hearing for 448 Lindley Street. This time I'd like to open a public hearing regarding 440 Lindley Street. If there are any members of the public here to address it that don't have a material interest in the property. I think you're later on.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. No worries. All right. Not seeing or hearing any members of the public here to address the order regarding 448 Lindley Street, we will close the public hearing at this time and move along to the order of enforcement on same said property, 448 Lindley Street. Commissioner Polk.
Good afternoon. The property owner is Matthew S. Rife. Last known address is 448 Lindley Street, Huntington, Indiana. That complaint come in from a neighboring property owner. The complaint was that it was abandoned. There was holes in the roof. It's been unoccupied for years. The order of inspection was set up and the order of enforcement was issued on May 22nd, 2026. There were 12 unsafe violations, 13 minimum housing violations, along with 15 corrective measures for compliance. As the order was written, the deadline date is June 20th, 2026. The inspection notice was sent to the owner on May 1st. Have not heard from the owner from the time of the inspection notice, the inspection, or since the order's been issued. So it would be my recommendation to affirm the order of enforcement with a June 20th deadline, and then direct me to seek proposals for demolition to be open during the July 20th Board of Works meeting. you see there's pictures of the rear, from the alley. The back roof has been, it's got large holes in it. You can see the chimney down to the ceiling line on the first floor, or on the second, well, it's over the back, so of the second floor there, story and a half. There's just a hole in the front roof there. That's the rear of the house, so trying to zoom in right straight below the chimney, that's completely wide open.
When's the last time you were there?
I went by Thursday, nothing has changed. I was across the street this morning doing another inspection and nothing has changed. So I didn't take fresh pictures just because nothing had changed.
No.
Do we know how long it's been unoccupied?
No.
The yard looks maintained.
I think according to the neighbor, they live up north somewhere and they pay somebody to mow. But they're living with somebody else.
This is the notice of enforcement mailed to that address.
That's the only address we have, yes. Posted the stickers on the front door as well.
You haven't spoken to them over the phone or anything?
No. And we did not get, nothing came back in the mail, so I assume their mail is being forwarded to a mailbox, PO box, or to their current address, because they didn't come back in the mail.
Other question or discussion by board members? Okay, not seeing or hearing any at this time, is there a motion to affirm the order of enforcement and seek proposals for demolition at this time?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to affirm the order of enforcement, seek demolition proposals. Further discussion and consideration?
Would you guys consider an amendment to that motion to add a $5,000 fine for willful failure to comply? Start with the new motion.
There's an amendment.
Point of order, you can just be a motion to amend. Right. Does that need to come from the original paper of the motion, or is it? To be from any member of the board, right?
So yes. I'd like to amend the motion to add a $5,000 fine for willful failure to comply and affirm the order of enforcement as written with the deadline date of June 20th, and direct the building commissioner to seek proposals for demolition to be July 20th, 2026, Board of Health and Safety meeting.
Second that.
So motion to amend in a second. So we have to first take action on this consideration for amendment. Further discussion and consideration on the motion to amend as discussed. Not seeing or hearing any, we will call the question in favor of amendment. All those in favor of amendment, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. The motion to amend carries. With that then, first and second already regarding the amended motion. Further discussion and consideration of the amended motion to assign a $5,000 penalty for failure to comply from the order of enforcement and seek demolition.
Anthony, I thought you said that.
5,000. Correct.
5,000, okay.
Not seeing or hearing any further discussion or comment then, we will call the question, the amended motion. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The amended motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have a status update for 631 First Street. So I have a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration today.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, Commissioner Paul.
Yes, the property owners Hanover Lending LLC, 2042 Broadway, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Refresh everybody's memory, that order of enforcement was issued on September 30th, 2025. At that time, there were 8 unsafe violations, 9 minimum housing violations, along with 8 corrective measures for compliance. To date, the order has been in effect for 258 days as of today. Throughout that time period, the board has granted 7 modifications. And to date, that property has seen multiple willful failure to comply fines totaling $17,500. At the last Board of Works meeting, the board modified the order asking, they're providing an additional extension to July 20th. They asked for the owner to appear today to provide a copy of the roofing contract, invoices for materials, written timeline, and the building commissioner was to do an interior inspection. $5,000 fine was assessed immediately, and if everything was not completed by July 20th, it would be an additional $5,000 fine. Also, the owner emailed me Saturday evening and provided pictures that his roofing contractors assessed the roof, deemed that the entire roof didn't need to be replaced. So they did just replace the 2 sections of the roof on each side of the upper gable, the upper areas that were bad. So they got that done. That was the last missing piece. We had a inspection scheduled for 2:30 today, which I was there. I came back and then no one showed up. I reread the email and he did say, let me know if I need to be there. So as I got that on a Saturday night and I did not look at it again until today, I did not email him back. I just assumed he'd still be there. So he did not come for the inspection today. In the meeting, he said that the interior wasn't bad, that he's the one that caused that damage the last time. Order did not pertain to the interior as we were never inside. So your options.
Still not complying with our last.
He did not provide the contract, invoice for materials, or a timeline. But they did complete the work. No. Not quite the time. So I got your options as to.
And you've never been inside?
No.
How long was that roof open? Did we determine?
Since the original courtesy notice in February of 2025. It wasn't that bad. And it was just on the south side at first.
Our windstorm, what was it, April, opened that back up?
Open more and the other side, yes. Yeah, in February, it was probably a 12 by 12 area that you was down.
415. Was an interior inspection required at the last meeting?
Correct. It was, he called me after the meeting and it was set up today at 2:30 and I went back and read his email and he said, well, let me know if I need to be there. I think he just assumed that he was done. He got it
Were you
done.
able to gain access to the interior with
No.
that? So, yeah, I don't think him putting a line in the email gets him off the hook. It's
Very good question.
Okay, so the substantive work was completed. The inspection was not completed. The timeline was not provided.
This is a new one for me.
So board members at this time, the substantive work was completed to make the building weathertight. Obviously with that, you can release the Board of Enforcement as is. You can also continue to uphold the order of enforcement, require the interior inspection to be completed if you think that's worth a squeeze. And then there's the matter of the outstanding fines and fees. Or whether the board would want to add any additional for, even if it's released, the lack of follow through. So you have options.
From our last meeting, did we, was it 5,000 if you didn't comply by July 20th?
You assessed a $5,000 fine immediately, and then if the work was not completed by July 20th, there would be an additional 5,000 at that time.
So does the interior inspection fall under the work completed? The timeline. That's part of the. Is it?
The record of hearing that was recorded. Owner was asked to appear during the regular scheduled Board of Public Works and Safety meeting on June 15th to provide the board with the following: copy of the signed contract with contractor to do the roof replacement, proof of purchasing materials for the roof replacement, a written timeline noting when the roof replacement will be completed by, and the building commissioner shall perform an interior inspection of the home. That was all on the record of the hearing, as well as noting the immediate fine and the potential for another fine.
Did you respond to his email on from Saturday?
I had not.
Like the instructions were given. So I don't feel about that. It's an excuse. I don't feel that the work is completed, the instructions or anything, that the timeline.
Yeah. That's recorded.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
to be in there.
I think it sets a precedent there. I think it's still.
So would this be a modification?
I mean, they were supposed to be here today to provide that. They did not.
I think they're
The last order was modified until July 20th. So really, they have until the July 20th. They had the things they were supposed to provide to you for today's meeting. Which they failed to do, but the order is still in effect until the deadline for the order is actually July 20th. So I guess the order wouldn't be modified or anything. It's just a matter of today was an update and they were supposed to provide information. So
So how do we support that?
Board doesn't actually need to take any action.
Until
So
July
you can wait
20th.
Till the deadline. At that point, if the deadline is, if these other materials are not met before the deadline, then the previous penalty that was pending completion is in effect. And at that point, the board can either enforce the order at that point or release it at that point, since the subsequent work, the exterior is done.
So then at the next meeting, we'll reassess.
we could, the record of hearing for today would just reflect that the information that was required wasn't provided and the owner wasn't here.
Yes, and that information sent to the owner so that they know to appear.
And the expectation is that the interior will still have an inspection before the 20th,
Yes.
as contained in the original order.
So you're probably gonna have to respond to his email.
Copy paste.
I usually wait until the record of hearing is completed
Yeah.
and signed, and then it goes out in regular and certified mail, and then I include it in the email as well, so, yes.
Further action necessary by the board at this time on 601 First Street, on status on 1143 Harris Street. Commissioner Paul.
The property owner is IBYH LLC, 4,000 West 106th Street, Carmel, Indiana. That order of enforcement was issued on April 30th, 2026. At the time, there were 13 unsafe violations, 15 minimum housing violations, along with 16 corrective measures for compliance. The deadline date was May 30th. During the public hearing on May 18th, the board modified the order with a deadline date of June 15th. Owner rep was asked to appear today to provide an update on the status of the repairs. I was on site, did an interior inspection. After I think it was after the public hearing. I was on site and did an interior inspection. They got a plan, they've got, the garage was full of materials. These photos were taken today. They had ordered the siding. The siding was a special order, was not supposed to be here till the 20th. It got delivered Friday. So they are in process now. I got the material for the siding. They reskinned the floor of the existing wood deck. So today they were working on, they're gonna redo the overhangs. Right now the overhangs are on an angle, replacing boards, so they're gonna flush it where it's plumb and then be able to put the gutters back on each one. So they're in the process of making the repairs as we speak.
Anything notable from this interior inspection?
No. No, they had just walked through with the owner and had a plan figured out of how they wanted to remodel, how were they gonna lay everything out? Because it had been gutted previously before they owned it.
Thank you, Commissioner Paul. We do have a representative from the owner here, back with us again, so welcome you. Step back up, sir, and state your name and address for the record.
Tim Funk, 1105 Van Eyck Drive, Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Funk, for coming back. We appreciate the actions you guys have already taken. Welcome any further updates you have for the board's consideration.
Well, I do know that, like you said, they've redone the back a little bit here. That's the picture he has. They took all the siding off and put the pins on. It's the siding, like you showed. New windows. It should be getting on the siding for this work, so. Jason asked me.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Funk or regarding Commissioner Paul's?
How much more time do you need
For the outside,
to be done?
we completely done. It's like he said, it's completely gutted. The heating air guy was supposed to be there this afternoon to give an estimate on the heating there. Once they get the side, of course, you want the outside done, so it'd be presentable for the neighborhood. And then they'll be on the inside, drywall and wiring and plumbing.
I think it's clear you guys are committed to doing this. I just want to know when we should be able to release the order.
Be back next month, we'll do another update.
Do you have a timeline?
Does it say, I don't know if you put anything in there or not, does it? Saying that these people will do. Have you talked to Jason?
No, there's, yeah, August 31st is when he's saying everything's gonna be done.
Does this count as a timeline submitted?
Inside scope of work.
Is our order on the inside too?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Lot to be done.
And it's August 31st.
It's a little ambitious there.
We might be extending that a little bit, but they do have a crew over there.
He said he could come in, he said he could do an update, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do this.
You guys have me up for 2-3 times. Take care.
Well, we said August 31st, we feel comfortable going on the 17th update and see what we're so.
Maybe modify it to this September to difference. Fine for the August 31st.
He said he'd feel comfortable giving an update. He went on. See how far they are.
So then a motion to modify to the August 17th. Board works for an update.
Yeah, make a motion to modify to the August 17th for an update. Comfortable with that? That'll be 63 days from today and see how far we are.
So that is a motion regarding a modification to August 17th. Is there a second for that motion?
Same time.
Yes, sir.
Second,
Okay, further discussion and consideration of the motion to modify the order to be consistent. You want to extend this where you bring us back. Not seeing or hearing any further discussion on the motion to modify the order of enforcement to allow an extension of August 17th. For updated at time based on the time we received today. All those in favor, we'll call the question in favor of the modification. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
I,
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries and your enforcement is modified. Thank you very much, Mr. Bunker. Next status update is regarding 641 East Market Street. Mr. Paul.
The property owner is Wayne S. Huff, 1401 Park Hill Drive, Huntington. That order of enforcement was issued on May 8th, 2026. At the time, there were 3 unsafe violations, 8 minimum housing violations, along with 16 corrective measures compliance. The order was originally issued with a deadline date of August 6th, 2026. During the June 1st Board of Works meeting, the board affirmed the order with the deadline date of August 6th. If all corrective measures for compliance were not completed by August 6th, the $5,000 fine would be assessed. The owner was asked to appear today to provide the board with an update on the status of the repair.
So we do have Mr. Hub with us today. We invite you to come forward and provide an update to the board at this time on the progress. We appreciate your willingness to make the repairs. Say your name and address for the record, please, and go ahead and update the board on the progress.
My name is Wayne Huff, 1401 Campbell Drive, here in Huntington. I apologize, start off with, I did not understand I was supposed to be here the previous meeting. This is the first time I've ever been through any kind of process like this. Not somewhere I want to be, but I am going to comply with everything. I have been in contact with Shad about what needs to be done, how it needs to be done to be in compliance with everything. It's a bad situation with the tenant. I don't really want to get into it too much. It's one of those deals. I'm partly to blame for sure, but at the same time, I've never had any issues like this before. Normally, Chad, I've shared 25 years. We've probably only had business dealings, what you do for a living, maybe less than a handful of times.
Yes.
And I've always just been done it. Never been this far. So I apologize for not being here. I did not know the process. But as far as status on it, I wrote down that what's been completed. And on the list, number 2, all the lower exterior painting is done. Okay. Everything we can get on the ground, the ladder's been done. The window, which was a dual glaze replacement window I had put in, somehow the inside pane was broken. It was still weather tight because it was an outside pane. The glazing was still good. So I put heavy duty clear tape on it, but it needs replaced. So I've got that one ordered. Plus there was another one that I don't even think Shad saw. It's a little questionable. I went ahead and just got a replacement for that as well, because I don't want to mess with that one either. The shower has been replaced with a new unit. That's on number 5. Number 6, the ceiling in both the bath has been replaced or repaired. The drywall. And that was a recent thing that had just happened because there was a leak from the upstairs bathroom that had been repaired. So all that work just recently happened under the last tenant. And I was actually 1,000 miles away on spring break with my senior son for a senior vacation. And I was Monday I got down there and within 30 hours, that leak was repaired by a contractor. So I got on as fast as I could from 1,000 miles away and got it done. Ceiling the number 10 on the list. When I purchased this house 25 years ago, it already had a drop ceiling in this particular room with the tiles like this you see here. And above that, there was a void where all the plumbing went to the upstairs units. So I did not know that that was a fire spread hazard. I would assume these have a fire rating, these tiles do, but evidently not big enough. But I did not do that work. But talking with Shad, I dropped it down and put new ceiling rafters in it and tied everything in structurally. And now we have drywall. So there is a fire rating. And I've also made a hatch, which you can see in one of the pictures that I showed Shad. I gave to him where it has the actual, you can see the opening there. That'll be a hatch, it'll be a drywall, and basically like an attic access panel to get up there in case there's any other future maintenance to it. Number 11, there's no longer tile in the ceiling. I think that was something to do with suspended tile. There's no, so that one doesn't, that's gone. 12, where there was a water line ran through a floor. It's been fastened back, secured, and it has been fire caulked where it penetrates the floor and the ceiling surfaces. And number 14, there's been a new reset plug-in installed there. So with all this going forward to be done, and I'm looking at, I really want this thing done as fast, probably more than you guys. No, folks. So I'm gonna give myself plenty of time unless something comes up, bad weather, someone gets hurt, whatever. July 15th, well ahead of the 6th. I'm not wanting to mess with this. So that, and number 2, the second story, exterior painting on the windows and all that. Number 3, the new windows will be installed at that time. It's about 2 weeks out right now. I think they're 3 weeks for them to come in because they are custom made to the size of the original windows. They'll put down either vinyl linoleum or vinyl planking in both the bath and the kitchen. Basically, I'm just rehabbing it. Everything's gonna have new paint, new flooring, new showering unit. So, have any questions?
Thanks, Glenn. Questions or comments by board members?
This is just one of 4 units, correct?
Yeah.
So all the drywall went up in the ceiling and the bathroom, correct? I know, and one of the, correct me if I'm wrong, Commissioner. I know there was a picture of some live electrical near plumbing. Was that corrected before?
Oh, there was a suspended ceiling.
Mhm.
Light panel,
Right.
that's gone.
Okay,
That whole thing, all that wiring to that is gone, yes.
so is that live electrical and that plumbing near each other? Not
No.
there? Okay. Okay. I didn't know if that was in the bathroom area or if it was, where it was before the drywall. So it's in that area? Okay. Just making sure that wasn't
Yep, that was-
still there under the
That was
drywall.
the old suspended ceiling light like you see here.
Yeah.
Further questions or comments for Commissioner Paul or?
You address the interior issues. You're also doing the, steps in the
Yes.
sidewalk as
Yeah,
well.
this winter was particularly hard on those steps.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I've talked to concrete guys and they said they've been getting calls about crack. The freezing and thawing was pretty tough this year, but yeah, that's getting done.
Okay.
That was on, I thought I hit that on my list. Steps, number 16 is what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're saying these are the 15th of July.
Mhm.
You're saying-
Yes. possibly sooner.
Chad, since this is a multi-unit, is this something that we can get you into the other ones to try to avoid any future encounters? That
So wish, yeah.
Do you have concerns about any of the other? The state of any of the other units since you had leaking from the other one? I mean, was that the
This was a bad situation with tenant.
Sure.
Shad knew, I mean, Mr. Riggers, as we're talking about. It was an ongoing thing and I don't have any concerns about it.
Okay.
I mean, they're all fine, they're fine, nobody's complaining, I went around, everybody's doing fine. It was just him. And 2 weeks prior, they had called me. I told him, listen, you gotta just stop being a problem with the other tenants and the other neighbors in the area, or things are gonna change. And he said, so what are you gonna evict me? And I said, something's gonna have to change, and that is a possibility. And then that's when all this, I think I made him mad, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And I just think I made him mad. And
Well, clearly there were some issues.
yep, and some of the issues he created.
Okay. Well,
And that's,
we're here to correct
you're there,
that,
but
so.
it's getting done, it's getting fixed and moving forward and getting her all wrapped up.
So your question again, if the board wants to direct Shad to conduct additional inspections, it can. But it requires the board's direction at that point. This was in response to a specific complaint within a specific apartment. Not receive those complaints from the other tenants.
What's your intent with this property? I thought you said you were gonna hold on to it. Is that right?
Well, recent events, I'm probably looking to maybe, get everything done and possibly move on from having this as a rental unit.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know yet, I haven't made up my mind. Well, this is a bad deal. Not with you guys, with the whole situation prior. Just get ready to be over it, I guess.
Well, we appreciate the updating the progress that's being made. Or do you have any other comments or considerations regarding the status update today? Of course, the original deadline is August 6th. Mr. Roberts indicated his goal is to finish in advance of that. Of course, can provide those updates to Shad for inspection and confirmation of that work. But there's no further action necessary by the board at this time.
Okay, so just to be clear, once I'm done, I just call Shad. He comes, says, yep. Gives me a good bill of health and I'm done and coming here.
Yeah, because he'll bring that update back in, and unless there's any questions, again, if the board does need to hear from you, Chad will let you know. But if you've documented and provided, and he signed off on that through his inspections, then he'll provide that update, the board will.
That's the way we normally done.
On the 20th. On July 20th.
Right. So if it's not completed.
It'll be the August one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So can I leave the whole, read yours or? Thank you.
Any miscellaneous items before the board today? Not aware of any. Moving on to consideration of accounts payable. Is there a motion to authorize payment of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington. Seeing your hearing aid this time, we'll call the motion. Call the question in favor of authorization of payment of bills incurred by the city of Huntington. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Motion and second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Take care.